Mhuri yeZimbabwe kusangana kwatiri kuita zvakare ipo pano pazimunyuzi update apo patinoda kupa mafirst hand update anonga ari kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. So kana uri mutsva kusabve pano usina kusubscribe, kulike nekusheya. Sekuziva kwatiri kuita kuti mukati mebato reZanu PF vanhu vakushandisirana chisimba nemari zvina zvina kumira zvakanaka. Tiri kuona mawo veteran vari kutaura iwo kutoti no, jaji mutsva uyu akagadzwa napresident Emerson Mnangagwa akareplace chief justice Lukumalaba akuita chigumba strategy sekubirwa kwakaitwa maelection muna 2018 na 2023 because tiri kuona kuti jaji haina kubuda nezuro. Hani muri kuona jaji haina kubuda nezuro, but mamwe majaji ese ana inimo zvitsva weku serial killer yana mukadzi wana chivhayo nanhasi mukadzi wachivhayo atori mukati mhuri yeZimbabwe. Chinova chiri chiratidzo chinoratidza kuti vanhu vari kutorana judiciary, vakacapture judiciary ndiwana wikino chivhayo. Because tiri kuona kuti jaji yakaita about 4 years ari kuuniversity but akuya konokontrolwa negrade 7 neform 2 mhuri yeZimbabwe. Chinova chiricho chiratidzo chekutoti nyika yaparara, and nyika iri kutoparara because tiri kuona kuti mazuva ana energy mutoda akataura wiki inochibva achiti next election hatikupinzi. So tiri kuona kuti energy mutoda akavhotiwa kumasvingo uku, iwe unozokwana papi pekutoti next election hatikupinzi, iwe ndiwe vanhu here. So zvinotoratidza zvega kutoti no, ana wiki inochibvayo ndo vari kurana zvinezvi. Tiri kuona mawo veteran havasi kufara nezviri kuitika because vari kusimudza nhauwa dzakafanana neidzodzo, sezvo zvatiri kuona kuti vice president Constantino Chiwenga, George Charamba, ana Jacob Mudenda, not Jacob Mudenda kani, Obet Mpofu, because Jacob Mudenda ari kutosapota constitution amendment bill number 3 iri ndosaka muri kuona akareplace Obet Mpofu because Obet Mpofu anga ari kutorambira nazo, ndosaka airamba kukwapta kudata gwere kuti anga achipinda mucentral committee. Hani muri kuona mota chaichazo dziya dzakatengwa nakudata gwere chida kusupply central committee, VP Chiwenga akatozvivhika kutoti kana dziri kubva kuna kudata gwere hapana munhu ari kusupply mota idzodzo. Takazoona vaMnangagwa vachiti dzakatengwa nebato reZanu PF dzichanamiwa mastickers ebato reZanu PF. So tiri kuona kuti zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka mhuri yeZimbabwe. Tiri kuona kuti mawo veteran vari kuratidza kuti vari kushushikana zvikuru apo pavari kuganziwa nemwana watungwarara chaiche, mwana watungwarara chaiche, mwana ane 18 years mhuri yeZimbabwe, ari kurana tap and go, ari kurana masupermarket mhuri yeZimbabwe. Zvakamboitwa kupi izvozvo mhuri yeZimbabwe? Icorruption iri pachena iri kuitwa napresident Emerson Mnangagwa ndo zviri kurambwa nemawo veteran izvozvo. Uye mawo veteran vataura futi kutoti no, ari kutozadza mhuri yake mucabinet. Hani muri kuona ari kuzadza mhuri yake mucabinet, ndo dynasty tiri kutaura iyo. So mhuri yeZimbabwe ngatinzwe macomrade panapa vachitaura, mungotiudza zvona kuchifunga mucomment section.
As everyone else watching the court hearings closely, kwandiri ndarangaridzwa chimwe chinhu, a reading of one of those very famous books that everyone has most probably read or heard about, The Art of War, and the phrase that you should always respect your opponent's competence if you ever wish to defend to defeat your opponent. And as Zimbabweans, if you look at things that happened today, we have to respect our opponent, or at least their tactics, and understand that we are also in need of something that is equally sophisticated, if not even more. If I knew the person who is doing the thinking for ZANU PF, or the group of persons who are doing the thinking for ZANU PF when it comes to CAB3, I would have given them their flowers, and especially with what happened today. Mukaona, the arguments that we're talking about, the case that was being presented by our side, represented by the warheads and the opposition figures that we're all familiar with. It argues really accurate, which I will not repeat because you've already mentioned that. Several people touched on that. But on the side, the state, or in support of Mnangagwa and the Attorney General, they've made just a simple tactical move. How is it you want to judge us on things that have not yet happened? Who tells you that they will come into fruition? If the argument of the state was to be allowed to stand, what will happen is we, the people and the opposition, will be forced to fight CAB3 retrospectively, which means you would have to fight it after Zvatoitika Yato a part of the new constitution. And that's a more difficult battle, but that's a battle that ZANU-PF is familiar with. They've been doing it all the time with the elections, because we always fight the elections retrospectively. It is after the winner has already been declared, the numbers have already been counted, the boxes have already been sealed, to a point whereby even opening them is a violation, even if you're opening them for the sake to prove that there was a violation that was done. That itself is not permissible. I think everyone remembers the Fulcrum case. You see, so you have to really see kuti these guys are not coming from the position that we usually speak of kuti hey, vanhu vari kungoita zvinhu but vari kungoita by chance, vari kungoita by simba. They are actually applying serious strategy to this. Then the other thing that was an amazing, brilliant work of tactic was the Zita case alongside with First Lady. Zvaitwa pepe ndinonzi redirection of the interests of the people. Vanyasoti alright, pane a case of importance of a danger that is going to happen in the future. The danger that is going to happen in the future is you will not be allowed to vote and some of your freedoms will be taken away. But what if we pitch it against a danger that is happening in the present? A serial killer who has killed 15 people. What will happen to the biological process in every human being? Would they be more concerned about the issues that are yet to happen in the future? Or would they be more sympathetic to the issues that have already happened or are happening? Those are why it is a case. That's why it's a case kuti inge publicized. That's why it's a case yavhayaiswa kuti first lady kuti vatore all the attention inokwanisa kuitwa nemedia. And that was a tactic in public management. Kuti the public now doesn't know if it should be outraged that a case of prominence case of prominence bill 3 yabudiswa haina kuiswa pa TV as another case of prominence, and which is dear to the hearts of many, yaiswa pa TV, a serial killer. You see, that was a powerful piece yekuti attention in the rest of the public, the interested public, inge iri divided. And they had a good reason to do that, because if the public was focused only on CAB3, the issue of CAB3, what would have happened would have been an outro after the fact. And a continuation of that tactic is expressed in why they reserve the judgment. It's an issue yekuti to measure my temperatures. How is the crowd going to respond? Give them time to simmer and get accustomed or used to the idea that things might not go their way. Then when you finally hit them with the blow, it would land but not as hard, or their reaction would not be as violent. You see. Then the other thing, they cast the first lady as the center of protection. They cast the first family as the center of protection by putting out Maimunangagwa in the Jitsa case. So you now have two arguments that are happening. While you are presenting the first family as a greedy bunch that wants to cement itself as a monarch in Zimbabwe, they are playing a public piece that says the first family is protectors. A man known for killing women and children, and the first lady steps into that presence to dare him straight in his face to say, we caught you, we have you. You see, so now why am I expressing it from this standpoint? It's to challenge you and me. We have to move beyond the rhetoric of speech, beyond the rhetoric of hypotheticals, and beyond the rhetoric of saying everything is simplistic, because it is not. And the opponent has demonstrated today that he is not taking this simple. It is meticulous. It is calculated to the last T. These cases are going to happen at the same time. And as they happen at the same time, we're going to give the limelight to that one, because that one is going to quench this other case. How does the human being react? Does he react more to danger in the future, or does he react more to something that is tangible, imminent, and in current proximity? That is what they put out there, right? And you have to then begin to think, are we operating at the same level? With institutions having been destroyed, we are not operating at that same level. Yet we are dealing with people that are not shying away